Hey, welcome back to Minecraft Through the Night. Back to a new home in Bethany. I love the music in this game. I always have. If it's too loud, I find it very distracting. I love it so much. Like you do. Let me tell you about my 2 refrigerators. I am living like an absolute king. It feels so luxurious. I have a fridge that I bought some years ago, maybe 8 to 10 years ago. I took it with me from my home in Yukon up to Edmond. That house had a fridge, but this gave us a secondary fridge in the utility room, and it was very helpful. A house full of people. Incredibly helpful. Again, I brought it back with me when I moved back to Yukon. The rent house that I chose did not have a fridge, and I later found out the landlord who does the maintenance, they're a husband-wife team. The landlord who does the maintenance wants as few things as possible to mess with. If he provides a fridge, he'll have to do the maintenance on it. And if it goes bad, he'll have to replace the food. So that was his thought. Teaches a random tier 1 glyph. Okay. Craft. Okay, we'll take that. Now, there was diamond, was there not? Was there not? Let's go back. Let's find diamond. Oh, Enderman. What is this over here? Tough. Let's go find. There's one. There's one. There's one. Let's go find some resources, specifically diamonds. On this crimson tundra we find ourselves on. Yeah, I was telling you in the previous episode about, this is the same evening, by the way. I took a short break. As I wait for melatonin to kick in. I should also mention I have a new sleeping, I'm still on the CPAP, and the CPAP is wonderful. I cleaned it, actually. I realized I have not cleaned it since I've been in this house. So I cleaned it. Recently had a notification from the company that provided it that Medicare pays for periodic replacement of materials of the CPAP. And I have been doing that myself in the past. I've just been eating the cost and replacing it as I needed to, but I'm starting to find out there are resources that will help me with all these things. We've got some speed points to use up here, 3 of them in fact. I like the fall damage. The movement speed and the fall damage. We'll keep doing those all the way down to here. So how am I going to get around? What is that? Skystone. Certus quartz, okay. I think there's refined storage in here as well, so Certus quartz would be helpful for silicone, right? You know, instead of looping back north, let's keep traversing southward. Get some of that AE2 stuff. It'll give us a possibility. Oh, I keep forgetting. I don't have to jump up. I can just walk up. Lovely. 2 refrigerators, man. Okay, there's a leftover one of those things. So that old refrigerator of mine made the trip to here, to this house. And I got a little bit of like, dude, what you gonna do with 2 fridges, you know? Well, whatever I want to, basically. Who doesn't want to have a fridge out in the garage? And it turned out, one of my concerns about this house was that the garage seemed small to me. So I measured it. I've got, various tape measures, and I measured the garage. The garage is not small. The garage was the same size as the garage of the house that I was renting. The reason it seemed small is because it had, in the middle of the garage, in the back, it had a place, like a cutout, sort of, like for a freezer, like for a deep freeze. And it was being used for storage. There were shelving units on the sides. I eventually removed those, but and repurposed those. That's a story for another time. I repurposed some of that shelving for my, what is that? A roomwood. Let's grab some of this. Why is this in pieces anyway? There's another task completed. And did we get some saplings? Nope. Oh, it's in pieces because this is the crater. I see. Okay. So, the fridge. The fridge is now set up in the garage. My fridge is set up in the garage. There was a fridge already here, and I asked that it stay with the house. And the sellers agreed. They provided the fridge. Why is this not? It's just slow. Here. I don't need that. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab all this as it is. Don't know that I need the sky stone. I don't know that I don't. I don't know that I do. But we've got it now. What was I wanted to keep? Keep that. Oh, and I've got 2 fishing rods. Okay. The fridge that was here, it just so happens it's almost identical to the fridge I already have. They're both Whirlpools. They're both white. They're both side by side, which I love. To me, I did not grow up with a side by side fridge and always thought those were just a lap of luxury to have one. And I do love them very much. A freezer side by side instead of a freezer stacked on top of a fridge. So many options these days, man. So many. And Amazon. Let's don't even talk about Amazon. It's like all you have to do is think of something you need. Think of something, a solution to a problem you got, and you can often have it the next day while it's still fresh on your mind and you know exactly what you want to use it for. Amazing. And I have heavily used Amazon recent days, recent month. weeks. The fridges. I had a scare about the inside fridge. Back in a previous home, we went on vacation and our fridge supply line had a leak, a pinhole leak. It soaked a bunch of carpet and just made a whole bunch of stuff. It was a mess. It was a mess for a long time. Well, I called plumbing immediately, and plumbers came out the very next day, or 2 days later, and they gave me a quote. I had several things I wanted to do. Their quote was exorbitantly large, and I was very near to telling them to bugger off. Not in so many words. But I remembered something my son said, which was, we were talking about a different issue. He said he would eat the cost. Oh, that's from that island. Okay, that's what the weird thing is, that island above. He would go ahead and eat the cost up front to have a place he felt good about living in. And a contractor kind of said a similar thing to me, one of the guys working on my floor. And so I just decided to pay that exorbitant plumbing fee. It was a horrific fee for the work that was done. But in the process, I got 3 brand new frost-proof outdoor faucets. I got my kitchen sink area somewhat replumbed and rehabilitated. And the 2 fridges replumbed with PEX and shut-off valves individually for each fridge, and a shut-off valve where I pick up the water supply from. It's the oops, didn't mean to do that. And so I have, and it's insulated. Oops. And so I have to get back to the house to fix that. I have to get back to the house. Let us sleep through this night if the coast is reasonably clear, and I think it is. I think it is. Hope it is. Yep, it was. So, how much diamond did I get? I got enough. Let's put a little waste spot right here. What is that? A wandering trader. Okay. Let's go check him out. There you are. Come in peace, dude. For some reason, this guy makes me think of, and this landscape makes me think of Vintage Story, which I think I'd like to get into one day. Okay, you'd sell me some leather pants. I could use that. A stone pickaxe. I would need an iron. Not today, but thanks. I appreciate it. Let's get back up to the lighthouse. I think it's pretty much straight north, isn't it? It's north by northeast. They did the plumbers did a wonderful job with the work. The price hurts, but the hurt is diminishing over time. And now what's left, instead of being hurt about the price, I feel good and proud and happy about the job that they did. Every time I see it, there's a bunny. Every time I look at the job out in the garage, my first thought is not the cost of it, but how good it was done, and the fact that this will survive. This will be in good shape for a long time. It will probably survive. You know, they warned me to, protect it from severe cold. It's in the garage. You know, it's not heated out there. But you know, the fridge itself creates heat and drives it up the back wall where the plumbing is. So I'm not at all concerned about at this point. At some point, I will get concerned about freezing out there, and it'll be a simple fix. I'll just put a extension cord with an incandescent light bulb, you know, near the pipes, and that will be fine. That will be sufficient. Oof. And where's my lighthouse at? To my right. Okay. Now this trip, especially this Thanksgiving trip coming up in a few days, I might cancel it, reschedule for when the extended 10-day forecast looks nicer out here, because it is supposed to get down to the mid-20s, and I have a lot of work around the house to do before I'm comfortable leaving this house. Do not want to leave a house and come back to pipe issues, water pipe issues. That would not be a good time. But I think I talked with a neighbor. He said he drips his faucets when the temperature gets below 20 degrees. He also has not replaced his windows. He still has the original windows. He clued me in that our electricity provider, OG&E, will do weatherproofing, both attic and windows, and at no cost, as a public service. So I will get on that soon and take advantage of that service, and talk to my daughter as well, and she basically kind of told me to suck it up, Buttercup, you know. And of course, she hasn't dealt with frozen pipes in her life, but nevertheless, her thoughts are well received. You know, I understand her thoughts; they come from a good place. All right, let's go with a diamond. There we go, diamond pick. And while we're at it, diamonds are not going to be terribly scarce, so we'll go with, although, now that I think about it, I got the diamonds, I wanted the diamonds for armor. Okay, go figure. You might can hear my window rattling in the frame behind me. Windows are definitely in a state. They're in a state for sure. And we're in good shape here. Very good shape. I could use some more of these diamonds. And emeralds as well. But I do have a bunch of stuff here. Those will go with tools. Just going to put those up there with tools for now. that up there as well. Let's keep a bucket on hand. Memorize the bucket. Let's keep some sticks on hand. Memorize the sticks. Barrels, I might be able to upgrade these. I think I will. Actually, I do have redstone. And I do have sticks. Let's do some upgrades. Yeah, that wasn't what I meant to do. I might be wrong about this. I might not have sophisticated storage. But I do. But I'm not, and I do. Lovely. Oh, that's right. I have to surround it with wood. Got it. I got it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Ah. Well, I guess I've got my sophisticated storage chests here. Very good. Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Tools. Okay, we'll leave that as is for now. Now we got this. I want to put the really valuable stuff over here. Oh, it is dark time. Ah, 2 fridges, man. And you know how much capacity I've used on those 2 fridges? Very, very little capacity. So maybe the naysayers are right. Maybe it was foolish to have 2 fridges. Maybe I should have sold one. But I really, really like having an extra fridge. I just like it. one of the issues I encountered back in the day was I was restricted on how much. Let's say Crest had a sale on, let's say they had 5 bags of assorted greens for $1 a bag, which was not uncommon. And well, I would buy 1 or 2 bags because I just didn't have room for more. Well, now I got room. I can buy them. So, how long will they last? I don't know. I want to move this copper back out of here. I'll put the copper up in here in its own place. And I'll put this stuff up here, I think, for now. Wood can go here, yeah. You know what? I'll make another. Torch. I have a couple of things on the agenda tomorrow to prepare for this trip to Georgia. One of which is to do what I can to make the trip as gentle on myself as I can. And by that, I'm not even sure I know what kind of task would be involved, like set out my Adderall, set out 5-hour, pre-make as many snacks and sandwiches as I can. Go ahead and reserve an overnight hotel room at a decent hotel like Hampton, in Tupelo perhaps, or Birmingham if I think I can make it that far, probably Tupelo. Set my alarm for early. Go ahead and set faucets to drip around the house, just to prepare for the cold snap that we'll have later in the week while I'm there in Georgia. So those are trip planning kind of things. And of course, pack up some clothes. Don't need a whole lot. Toothbrush. Don't need much, just have to think through the things that I might want. Chromebook, charger. And then my stretch goal would be to take a few gifts with me, like maybe an OKC Thunder cap for my new little nephew Milo, and maybe, I guess those are the high points. But then around the house, I'd like to do a flurry of winterizing windows if possible, create some 1x2 frames or PVC frames with some plastic, either taped or stapled to them, and customize them for my windows, and so call them interior storm windows. And they won't look great, but they'll do well, better than what I have, with insulating against drafts while I'm gone. Help reduce my energy bills. I have some insulation for my ducts up in the attic, some aluminized bubble wrap, and I'd like to get that installed. I've been scared to, because it's a dirty job up in the attic, and but I have installed one of those excellent LED garage lights up in the attic, and it throws a lot of light. And I have an extension cord, and I'll be able to extend it out to another one of those lights So in the back of the garage, and so if I take my time and be careful and cautious, I believe I'll be able to get some of that insulation, some of those ducts insulated. I need to make a call to my dentist tomorrow to reschedule an appointment, and I also need to it's one more thing that escaped me. Thinking about the dentist, kind of lost my train of thought. Anyway, there are some things that I need to do. If I'm super on the ball, especially from the start of the day, then I'll be able to knock out some stuff. And if I'm not quite so on the ball, I'll knock out less stuff, but I think I will get some stuff knocked out tomorrow and prepare for a Thursday morning departure to go to start driving to Georgia. So yeah, so there are things I need to do tomorrow, and I think I can and will do them. Throw into the frame of a ruined warp portal, or press right button to teleport. Okay, tell me where that place was. How far is it? It was way up here, wasn't it? It was right here. I wonder if that would work. Do I have time in this day to do it? I'm not sure I do. I'd certainly try it though. One of the things that's been difficult for me is thinking about some of the stuff that I've saved have been memories of Noi and memories of Jelly Bez, memories of my ex-wife. These are things that I kind of just I stored and just didn't have the emotional capacity to deal with it in previous years. And now it's not that I have the capacity to deal with it, but it's time to deal with it, right? It needs to be dealt with. And especially with an eye to the future. Let's say I do meet someone. Let me turn it around. Let's say I meet someone and her home is a shrine to her ex or her exes. You know, that's not going to be a good look for me, right? So I got to think it'd be the same way for someone else, you know. Okay, so I haven't tried this before, and in fact, I didn't even bring the scroll with me. I didn't bring it. My thought was to throw it against this and see if it creates a portal. But I forgot to bring it. Story of my life. Alright, well, let's get back to the home place. Have to give myself grace about these memory issues because I do remember a lot of things. do remember a lot. I've got little tricks. Counting on my hand, on one hand, is a good trick for me. It helps me to remember things. The memory palace is good when I exert the effort to do the memory palace. It's a strategy I used to teach during the final days of the semester when we had a little bonus time. I'd try to front load the semester, and on days before a spring break or a fall break and the last day of class or last week of class, I would earmark that for some, not English composition direct stuff, but adjacent stuff, like how to improve techniques to improve memory and organization. So yeah, memory palace, I can do that, and that works for me when I take the cognitive time to use it. But I really like the counting on my hand is a pretty powerful technique. All right, well, here's the work scroll that I forgot. We're going to take a nap, and I will see you back again, I hope, from my new home in Bethany in this lighthouse place. I'll see you next time. Get some sleep now, will you?